You were tapping on my head. Is there something that I didn't do right? Something that I need to know. Something that I need to write. You were tapping in the nighttime. You're tapping all day long. Maybe you just want to hear a sweet song. Do you just want me to sing again? You were tapping on my heart. Tell me, what is the plan? Tell me how to heal my mind. Tell me how to walk this land. You were tapping in the nighttime. You're tapping all day long. Maybe I am the song of freedom. Am I the voice of so many men and women and children who love one another, men and women and children who sing for the rivers, men, women and children who sing for the mountains, men, women and children who sing for the hungry, men, women and children who sing for the dying, men, women and children who care for all people, men, women and children. I sing for all people. I sing for all people. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're tapping on my head. Must be something that I'm doing right. But more that I need to know. More that I need to write. You are tapping in the nighttime, tapping all day long. Maybe you just want to hear the sweet song. Do you want me to live again? Live again, live again. Maybe you just want to hear the sweet song. Do you want me to heal, heal, heal?
Purpose statement. Our purpose is to create a spiritual community that recognizes that there is one presence and one power in the universe, God. Daily, we actively practice this spiritual truth. We open our heart space to each person to acknowledge one another as expressions of God. It is in each other that we see God.
May our hearts be open. 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 May our hearts be open.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's Open Heart Spiritual Center virtual service. Thank you all for joining us, as always, for your consciousness and being here. And may this service just bring more peace, more joy, more freedom of expression, more life to you today. And may you just allow this service to open up your heart space even wider than it was when you started. If you'll join me here in just taking a breath in. And with this breath, I just give thanks for this day, for this time that we've all come here to join together, to be here in the now, in this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for all that have a part in this service, for the affirmative reading, for the song, for the music, for the message. And yes, for each and every single one of you, for your consciousness, for joining us here today. And I am so grateful for this celebration today. It is a new celebration, so let us celebrate anew. And now I call this time so very good. Celebration so very good. And let the celebration begin. And so it is.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream. For this Sunday, May the 5th, first Sunday in the month of May. So glad that you have joined us for today's Heartstream. There's so much happening in the month of May. This is the month that is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we'll be hearing and talking about the ways in which we can become more aware of how important our mental health and the mental health of those around us that we love and know is important. It's also, as we know, upcoming is Mother's Day next week. Our very special Mother's Day speaker, Precious Morris. And this is also Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So many other things that are going on. But I'm just glad that you are with us today, that you've joined us today. As you may recall that this morning at 11 a.m., I am speaking at Unity Christian Church of Memphis in Whitehaven. If you have the opportunity and you're in Memphis to come out and to share with me and to be there, I would love to have you as always. I love looking out in the congregation and seeing those faces, open heart family faces, and so I would appreciate that. Also, I just want to take this moment to say that as we look around, we see all of the chaos and the conflict and the wars that are happening around the world, the genocide and the humanitarian crisis and everything else. We have to continue to hold the space, continue to pray, continue to know that there are solutions and things are happening very often on the metaphysical level before they flow into the world of effects and the reality that we see. So that's very, very important for us to know and to continue in our prayer work, continue in our visualization and our meditation, all of that. Also encourage you again to contribute to Open Heart. Those of you, there are several who are on an auto pay basis. I appreciate that. I thank you for that. Others of you who make contributions, if you have not made a contribution or if you lapsed in your contribution, think about doing so today. And as always, I greet you, I bless you, I see God in you.
Our affirmation for the month of May: change the cause, change the effect. In all areas of my life, I choose to work from the realm of cause to change my experiences. Amen, Ashe, and so it is.
We're going to do our annual Mother's Day tribute for this Mother's Day on May the 12th by including a video tribute during the Heartstream. Please text your pictures to 901-219-7923 or email them to jgilmore@openheartspiritual.org by May the 10th. Please include the names of the person's pictures that you are sending so that we can make sure we properly remember or honor them.
Today is a day like no other day. Just think and you'll know that it's true. Days like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
Hey man, we'll fall into place. Alright, y'all, let's try to. Somebody start off our rock so we can be together again. Here we go.
We were together.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder.
never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small standing by the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance, and never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth the making. Don't let some helmet heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
Let's take a minute and find out what's happening with Open Heart this week and in the weeks to come. Here are your announcements. At Open Heart, we believe in the power of affirmative prayer. Each and every individual and family you see represented here, we continue to pray for you. Our prayer team each morning remembers you, and we hold the space for you, as well as all of you who are a part of our Open Heart family. There are several ways to give to Open Heart: through our Cash App at OHSC 901, online at OHSC901.com, or text the word GIVE to 615-422-4290. Begin or continue your day with prayer through our daily affirmative prayer call every morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, 901-586-8755. On Sunday, May the 5th at 11 a.m. Central Time, I will be the guest speaker once again at Unity Christian Church of Memphis in Whitehaven, 3345 McCorkle Road. We look forward to seeing you there. Also, as we once again fellowship with our friends from Unity Christian Church of Memphis. Yes, Mother's Day is coming, but on Sunday, May the 12th at 10 a.m. during our Heartstream, our very special Mother's Day guest speaker will be Precious Morris. Precious is no stranger to many of us at Open Heart, and we're looking forward to having her to bring the Mother's Day message. We're going to do our annual Mother's Day tribute for this Mother's Day on May the 12th by including a video tribute during the Heartstream. Please text your pictures to 901-219-7923 or email them to jgilmore@openheartspiritual.org by May the 10th. Please include the names of the person's pictures that you are sending so that we can make sure we properly remember or honor them. The Tony Award-winning musical Your Arms Too Short to Box with God hasn't officially been produced since 1982, but now you can see it April the 26th through May the 19th at Playhouse on the Square. It's directed by Claire D. Kohlheim, assistant directed by Noella Warnett-Jones, orchestration by Tammy Hope, and choreography by our own Emma Crystal. You can purchase tickets by going to playhouseonthesquare.org or calling 901-726-4656. I promise you, this is a lively show that is very well done. You almost can't stay in your seat because of the songs and the powerful vocals and the dancing and all of that takes place. Hope that you will get the opportunity to enjoy the show.
Shower now. I smile. Smile for me. Can you just smile for me?
But all the people say,
Oh, you look so much better when you. 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 Oh, you look so much better when you smile. I almost gave up, but I'm high with that I can't explain. Fell from heaven like a shower now, right now. I smile, even though I hurt me, I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile. It's so hard to look up when you've been down. I sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. So smile, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you, oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you smile.
yes. Hallelujah. Woo.
Work with that.
Hallelujah.
There's a song from back in the day, 1974 to be exact, where a group called Hughes Corporation recorded this song. It went like this. Yes, I'd like to know where you got the notion. Yes, I'd like to know where you got the notion. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Okay, enough of that. But what does this have to do with today's message? Well, there's a story in New Thought author Irvin Seal's book, Take Off From Within, that I like because it illustrates some certain points. He tells the story of a boat, a ship actually, where they had encountered rough seas. The winds were blowing very hard. There were rain clouds that were gathering. The sea was choppy itself, and the ship was rocking and rolling from side to side. And on the deck was a woman he called Mrs. Smith. And Mrs. Smith, you could obviously see the look of terror and fear on her face. And as she was standing there and she looked at the wind, she looked at the water, she looked at the wind, she looked at the water, she looked at the boat rocking back and forth. And all of a sudden, someone came up to Mrs. Smith and said to her, Mrs. Smith, you look ill. And at that moment, as she looked at the winds, as she looked at the water, as she looked at the boat rocking back and forth, she leaned over the side and all of the contents of her stomach went over the side. And then shortly after that, there was a seasoned, crusty old sailor who was also standing watching those things. And the same person went up to him and said, hey man, you look ill. That sailor looked at the winds, looked at the water, the choppy seas, looked at the wind, looked at choppy seas, looked at the person who was saying that to him, even looked at Mrs. Smith, and he laughed. No effect on him. Nothing happened to him that had happened to Mrs. Smith. Why? Because as Irvin Seal says, he was able to allow his mind to lie still. His mind to lie still. And in doing so, he was able to know that we can get caught up in things that happen to us. We can allow external conditions to influence us. And a part of this journey and a part of this lesson for this month is to learn not to be controlled by external conditions. You hear the title, Change the Cause, Change the Effect. See, no matter what happens on the outside, becoming aware, which is consciousness, remember, there's that place on the inside that stays still, that lies still. It is that place where, as you've heard me oftentimes quote, where the flame will not flicker. Joe Dispenza, in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, says that we can either be living the life that is one of cause and effect, meaning things happen on the outside, influencing us, or, and for example, you can have a gloomy looking day. And if you're not careful, that gloomy looking day on the outside can cause you to start having gloomy feelings on the inside. We talk about how bad things are in the world. And as we continue to talk about how bad those things are in the world, or inject ourselves or be in conversations where that is happening, it can cause us to feel discouraged, even fearful, because of the conversations and things that are there. But I'm talking this morning about not allowing external conditions to influence us. I'm talking about this morning recognizing and realizing that we become that which determines what we wish to experience. Change the cause, change the effect. In the last couple of weeks, I've gotten back to something that I really enjoy, something that has been a part of my life early on for a number of years, and that's the martial arts. And it takes me back to the days when I was heavily involved in martial arts, and there's something that I would do that was a part of that, and that is doing a kata. In karate, a kata is a pre-formed or pre-programmed set of moves that you use that are used in situations where you imagine that you are being attacked by opponents, and you use the particular techniques, the blocks, the kicks, the punches, the throws, the parries, whatever it might be, to repel the attack. And you do those things over and over and over again. You perform the katas over and over and over again until it becomes automatic, until you develop that mind-body connection, to you to develop where your body just naturally just takes that in and it becomes a part of you and your mind so that you act automatically. And I can remember when I was on my college campus back then at Ohio University, I never dreamed that I would use this, but there was a particular time I was standing on campus talking to some friends, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody running toward me. I still don't know this to this day why he was doing so, but he was running straight at me. And as I turned and I looked at him, I could see the look in his eyes, and I could see by that look in his eyes that he meant me harm. And before I knew it, I had already sprung into action, and a particular kata that I had learned and particular moves that I had learned, and I did those maybe 2-3 moves, and he ended up on the ground writhing in pain because of that, because it was something that just happened without me thinking, something that happened automatically because I had made the connection, the mind-body connection that is a part of that. And so it's important that we understand this, because you see what can happen to us if we're not careful. We can practice negative ways of thinking and reacting and doing. And those things will happen for us. They'll become a learned behavior. You know, we'll always find ourselves in conflict or adverse circumstances. You know, there are people like that it seems like they're always having a beef or an argument or some other kind of drama or chaos with someone else, or either they have themselves in adverse circumstances all the time. It seems like those bad things or unfortunate things are always happening to them. And they begin seeing life as a series of conflicts and adverse circumstances. People who always got drama going on. There's certain friends that I avoid, and I saw a meme about this the other day, that there are people who don't like to go out to restaurants with speak to the manager types. You know, those people who are always going to find something wrong with the meal, no matter how great the restaurant, no matter how really good tasting the food, they're going to find something, some type of problem, going to either send it back several times or ask to speak to the manager. And those times people often get caught up in the drama and the chaos and the adverse circumstances. You see, our brains and our bodies have then, by that time, our brains and our bodies have been trained to look for conflict. And we see that conflict in so many things, in so many people. Remember the title of this message: change the cause, change the effect. But I'm going to say this: it's not as easy as we think. It's not as easy as when I first say this, or if you repeat the phrase, change the cause, change the effect. There's more to it. And there's some things that are important for us to understand. We have to understand how our minds and bodies work together because they are integrated. And as they are integrated, there are certain processes that happen, certain things that are going on that we have to become aware of. Joe Dispenza, he talks about the fact that thoughts are the language of the mind and feelings are the language of the body. He has a book called Break the Habit of Being Yourself, and we build a habit oftentimes on those negative things, those adverse things, and we have to learn how to break that habit of being ourselves. That thoughts are the language of the mind and feelings are the language of the body. We'll say that we want to change, but what happens is that our feelings don't correspond with our language, nor with our thinking, and we get stuck. And one of the reasons why we get stuck, do you know a thrill seeker? Or maybe you might be a thrill seeker, but a person who likes to do daredevil, adventurous kinds of things, things that provide a thrill. It might be skydiving, it might be surfing, it might be other kinds of things, driving a car fast, or a lot of other things that bring about a thrill in that person or that thrill in us, if that happens to be you. And you see, as the thrill goes through us, there's a chemical that's called dopamine, and dopamine that's released in our bodies. And dopamine is the feel-good chemical. And just as when we're afraid, there are certain chemicals that release themselves in our bodies as well, that our bodies are a chemical factory. And as we have certain feelings and certain emotions, those are corresponded with certain chemicals that are in our body. And again, remember that thoughts are the language of the mind and feelings are the language of the body. And those chemicals that are produced, we become addicted to them. Yes, we become addicted to those feelings. And that's why thrill seekers have to do it over and over and over again. One time is not enough because they get addicted to that feeling, that feel good, and have to do them over and over again. Why? Because it feels good. There's some people, for example, who get tattoos. And there's something about the needle going in the skin and the sensation that is there that produces feelings, again, feelings of pleasure for people. And so they find themselves doing it over and over again. I just saw just very recently a friend of mine who started out with some tattoos, who said, when I get to my 10th one, I'm going to stop there. But guess what? They didn't, because they liked the feeling. And now their entire side of their body, all the way around their arm, all down the side of their body, all the way around their legs, everything is tattooed because they just couldn't resist. And now they've started over on the other side of their body. But again, the feeling that comes with that, how it makes a difference. They couldn't stop because of the feeling. And that's not necessarily a negative thing. I know people that like tattoos, that love tattoos and being tattooed and tattooing and all of that, and that's something that's special for them. But I'm just saying, again, that there are chemicals in our body. Our bodies are chemical factories that produce certain chemicals from things that happen for us. So we'll say, I'm going to make a change. In our minds, we have decided we're going to make the change, but we have not taken into account that chemical addiction that has us in certain places. We talk the game, But our bodies are saying, wait a minute, I'm not ready to give that up yet. Wait a minute, you're trying to take something away from me that brings me certain feelings that serves a particular purpose for me. And it may not even always be good, but we find ourselves in that. And I'm going to tell you how this worked for me. I know that something that happens for me is that I could be a procrastinator. I will procrastinate about particular tasks or duties and responsibilities and then get called on the carpet for it. And as I do, there is a feeling in my body. My stomach gets tense. I start to feel flushed and a few other reactions that I have. And while those things are not pleasurable, ultimately, while they don't necessarily serve me, there is something that is still addictive about that. And so there are times when I have put myself in particular situations. I've known that there was a particular deadline coming up. I've known that there was something to do or whatever else. And all of a sudden, I'm on the carpet because I didn't follow through. I didn't do the things that I was supposed to do. And I'm having those feelings. And what happens is those feelings become familiar to us. And even though they're non-productive for us, they are familiar. And that familiarity is something that often will keep us doing the same thing. So here it is that the key is that if you really want to change, you have to begin envisioning what it would feel like if the change we desire has already happened. What the feeling would be like if the change has already happened. Neville Goddard, one of my favorite metaphysical writers and teachers, calls it feel it real. And when we feel it real, we're asking ourselves, what would it feel like if I were this person or acting in this circumstance? I say I want to be. How would that experience be for me? What would it feel like? What would the conversations I would be having? What would be the things that would be happening around me? But again, most importantly, within me, the things that I feel. Some of you that have attended our New Year's Eve party at Open Heart know that we have done what we call act as if parties for a number of years. And that is where we will contemplate and think about whatever it is that we would like to experience or move into for that new year. And we will take a name tag, and on our name tag, we will write those things on there. And as we move around the room, we will have conversations with the people in the room as if we were already living that experience, as if we were already have opened a new business or be in a promotion, have a promotion or be in a particular type of relationship or have a particular health status or whatever else it might be. But we are acting as if it is happening and having those conversations. But more importantly, again, the key is to feel how it would be if we were experiencing those things, if those things were already done for us. We declare it, but again, how would we feel if we were experiencing this reality? We begin creating what Neville calls that state. We're on the road to training your body and your mind, and more importantly, producing those chemicals that are associated with this state. We rehearse these things in your mind and body. Your subconscious, which is the creative aspect of ourselves, doesn't know the difference between those things that are real or imagined. So we begin feeling those things, and as we feel those things and begin producing those chemicals, things happen for us. Remember that nature abhors a vacuum, and if we're going to replace something that's not serving us, then we have to do so with something that is. So we replace a negative chemical addiction with a positive one. And as we begin doing so, we work with our bodies and we create that's what corresponds with our brains, and we build the muscle memory. Remember when I talked about the kata earlier, that as I work and built that mind-body connection, and I continue to work on that and do it over and over again, so that it became automatic, that I was building the muscle memory, but I was also creating those grooves in my brain, which we talk about neuroplasticity, neuroplasticity, building those things in my brain. And as I build those things in my brain, those pathways in my brain, then things begin to work together and things are happening. And not only do I have muscle memory then at that point, but then having those things in my mind, it takes me into the reality that I wish to manifest. And the next thing that you know is that you're walking into those circumstances. And not only are you acting confidently, but you're feeling that way. You're feeling in that moment the way in which you wish to be and to have that happen for you. And so that becomes something that is important for us. And going back to neuroscience, there's something that neuroscience teaches that if you want to gain confidence, that as you are moving into a situation or circumstance, practicing what they call the power stance. You know, you might recognize it, superheroes who stand in this power stance, but there's something about taking 2 minutes in the power stance when you are seeking to gain confidence, when you're seeking to do something that again provides a signal in your body and begins those chemicals of confidence and power moving through you, so you become that which you wish to embody. You become that which you wish to manifest, which you wish to be and to display. And as you do these things, your I am consciousness is activated. And as your I am consciousness is activated, you're able to move into and to be a part of those situations and circumstances in your life that are desired, those things you wish to see. You're able to understand very clearly what it means to change the cause and change the effect. This month, we're going to be talking about them more in detail. This month, we're going to focus on that, changing the cause, changing the effect. And as we do so, beginning to know that the life that we wish to manifest, to have happen for us, is unfolding. And it's unfolding in ways that are permanent, in ways that are life-changing and transformational, in ways that mean something, in ways that, again, as we talk about change the cause, change the effect, or change your thinking, change your life, where they become a reality. Amen, ashe, and so it is.